All right, this is Mr. Anderson for Kellogg Community College. We're going to be today looking at part 8 of our final exam review, and we're going to take a look at doing some simplification of problems and doing some solving in chapter 6. So chapter 6 came right after the factoring chapter, so there's a good deal of factoring that you're going to need to know. The main purpose of problem 27 is twofold. You're going to first of all skip, flip, and multiply this second fraction here. So you can rewrite it as x cubed minus 64 over x cubed plus 64 times, and in the numerator is x squared minus 4x plus 16, and you're going to have x squared minus 16 in the denominator. So again, when you're dividing fractions, you skip the first fraction, flip the second fraction, and then multiply. But we can do a lot of factoring here because this numerator and the denominator of this problem is a difference of cubes or a sum of cubes, which is factorable. Doing our AB SOPs property, which means that we take the cubic root of both of these, and that becomes our A and B. So this becomes our x, and then the cubic root of 64 is minus 4. Now that is going to be the first part, or our AB of our SOPs there. And then we're going to take the square of the first, the opposite product of negative 4 and x, which is positive 4x, and then our square of negative 4, which is 16. Now that is going to be, again, a way to rewrite this first numerator of the first fraction. Down here, it's going to be about the same, except that it's going to be a plus instead of a minus. So this is going to be the cubic root of x cubed, which is x, the cubic root of 64, which is 4. Now here, the square of the first term is x squared. Opposite product would be minus 4x, and the square of 4, which is 16. Now we're going to multiply that by the numerator here, which is the trinomial x squared minus 4x plus 16. And you can see that there's going to be a match that we can simplify or divide to make 1. Now x squared minus 16 is another way of saying x plus 4, x minus 4. Well, now we can do some simplification. A lot of people call this cross-canceling, but when you have a numerator and denominator that's exactly the same, these two divided make 1, and these two divided make 1. So what I'm left with is in the numerator my x squared plus 4x plus 16, which isn't factorable. There are no two numbers that multiply to make 16 and add to make 4. And in my denominator I have x plus 4, or you can write it as x plus 4 quantity squared. But that is as far as you can go in the simplification of this problem. Let's go take a look at another one. We got 3 more to go on this page. All right, so we're supposed to add these two together, and you'll notice that they have different denominators. It is impossible actually to take the first denominator here, which is x plus 2, and make that into 2x. You have to, you'd have to by getting a common denominator here, you're going to have to take your first fraction, your 7x over x plus 2, and multiply it by 1 to make it look like a common denominator with the second fraction, which is 3 over 2x. We're going to multiply that by 1. Now, obviously, the lowest common denominator, I wrote LCD, lowest common denominator, is going to be the product of x plus 2 and 2x. So we're going to multiply this fraction here by 2x over 2x, which is multiplying by 1. Oh, that's my cat. Hello. Sitting on my lap. Obviously enjoying the microphone there. This is also going to be x plus 2 over x plus 2. So what we have here, we now have a common denominator of 2x and the quantity of x plus 2. But we are going to take a look at our numerator and see what we get there. The 7x and the 2x, that makes 14x squared. And we distribute this, so this is 3 times x, which is 3x plus 6. And that's my answer here. It's 14x squared plus 3x plus 6 over the quantity of 2x times x plus 2. All right. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to solve an equation. And solving an equation is just a little bit different here. We will take our problem here and we may also want to first of all look at excluded values, like x cannot be equal to 2, x cannot be equal to -4, and we can see those from this set of, these pair of fractions here. But also notice you got x squared plus 2x minus 8. So that means that your common denominator is going to be x minus 2, x plus 4. And I think a lot of people get confused when they do problem 28 and 29 so close to each other, because I'm not getting a common denominator here. I'm clearing a common denominator. Because x squared plus 2x minus 8 can be factored to this if I multiply every fraction by x minus 2x plus 4, I get simplification, which leaves me with no denominator, which is actually pretty nice. Because what I have here is 2 times the quantity of x plus 4, plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 2, plus just x. Because all the denominators are gone, and now we're going to do some distribution. 2x plus 8 plus x minus 2 is equal to x. So do some more simplification. This is 3x plus 6 is equal to x. Move the 3x to the other side, so 6 is equal to negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2, x is equal to negative 3. And since a negative 3 is not one of my danger numbers over here, then it should be the answer I get here. I can always check my work too. I can plug my negative 3 back into my problem. So 2 over negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Plus 1 over negative 3 plus 4, which is positive 1. And here I got negative 3 over, and if I plug this in, negative 3 squared is 9, minus 6, minus 8. So 9 minus 6 is 3, minus 8 is negative 5. And lo and behold, looks like we have some work here, because what this gives us is let's see, I got 2 and 1 over 1. So to turn this into a common fraction here, or a common denominator, again, this is all checking my work here. I turn this into negative 5 over negative 5. And what this would give me is negative 3 over negative 5, which is equal to negative 3/5. Oh, look, and lo and behold, double negative properties come in. So I've got 3/5 is equal to 3/5, and it checks out. X equals negative 3 is my answer. For our last problem today, we're going to take a look at this solving the equation. And again, when you do a problem like numbers 29 and 30, so close to the earlier problems here, you might get confused whether you should be getting a common denominator or clearing the denominator. And when you have an equal sign, you clear the denominator. What this means is that you multiply both left and right hand side by the common denominator, and what you will get is simplifying, or you might call it canceling. So now we don't have any more denominators. Now, again, this process, some might point out that this is the same as cross multiplying, which is, as you see, if I look at it this way, 3x times 4, and then 2x plus 3 times 5. So clearing the denominator and getting common denominators and cross multiplying, you may throw those terms out, interchangeably, but there's some subtle differences between all of these. So this will be 12x, this will be 10x plus 15. Move the 10 to the other side, so 2x is equal to 15. And then we divide by 2, x is equal to 15 halves, or 7.5. All right, and again, you can plug 7.5 into this problem and see that it would actually work out. I don't have the calculator in front of me, but it's always good to check your answer. Once you get a value of x, you can go back in the problem and check it out. All right, well, thank you for watching the 8th video here. Stay tuned for more help and information.